Hello, I'm back with a comparison video between Claude and Codex performances, as this is of interest to quite a few. Just like people, each person will have different abilities in using a tool. One may be a total pro, while another might be a complete novice. The same applies to AI models. Claude Code Opus is recommended for NeoStack, but let's see if ChatGPT Codex can keep up. The results will be presented at the end of the video. I will use a new chat window for Claude so that it won't have a head start. I'm using the same exact project from the Adding Features to my UE5 project with NeoStack AI video. The plan is to instruct each model to implement a reload system for this template, as it currently doesn't have one and allows for indefinite firing. There is some logic for ammo present and a UI update, but there's no reload ability. NeoStack is constantly updated. By the time I release this video, it might have new features, bug fixes, and UI updates. However, at the time of recording, version 0.4 was used. From Claude's side, we will use the flagman Opus model, bypass all permissions to avoid needing to click Allow for each tool use, and enable thinking mode to medium. I created a repository for this project. I will have Claude implement the reload system, check how long it takes, and evaluate how well it performs. Then, I'll revert all changes and use the same prompt for Codex to do the same so we can compare the results. In both cases, I will add context to save the agent time analyzing the project. This approach saves both time and credits. This time, I will use a better method for adding context. We'll use the @ symbol and start typing the file name to find the file to include as context. I'll make the prompt more technical to cover some system logic. The weapon should have a reload ability, and the character should have an input to use it. With this addition, I want to ensure that you can't shoot while reloading. This will assist the models, as they overlooked this part during pre-recording testing. Looking back, I have no idea why I added the part allowing the weapon to be reloaded at any time, but I think it was fine. I also made sure the agent would take into account the UI for ammunition that is present in this template. Okay, the prompt is ready. Let's end it and time it how long it takes to finish the task. I'm copying it so I can use it later for Codex. And finally, let's send it. One thing to add. In the initial prompt, I also wanted to specify that reloading should have a reload time, but both models included it by default in the reload mechanic. In the initial prompt, Claude Opus took 5 minutes and 10 seconds to finish the task. Now, let's see how well it was implemented. We can still fire indefinitely because the template has auto-reload logic added, which Claude did not catch. However, the rest works. Pressing or prevents firing, and I need to wait for the reload to finish. Then the UI updates, allowing me to start firing again. I just had a double check, and reloading does take time to finish. Now we need to have Claude fix it. This will be added to the total result, as the system doesn't yet function the way we want it to. Just to add, in the next update, it might even complete this task in one shot, as the plugin is constantly being developed. The upcoming 0.5 version could potentially achieve that, but I wanted to share this before the update. Anytime I can return to this and compare both models again. Unfortunately, Claude couldn't detect the presence of a logic that makes the weapon auto-reload, so I will give it another chance with the next prompt. It was too focused on the firing event. But don't give up just yet, as Codex might surprise you. I'm just playtesting to ensure the rest still works, and it does. This prompt is guiding it, but if you're using it on your own project, you'll be familiar with all the intricacies and can provide better prompting and context for the agent to complete tasks. With the guidance logic removed, the weapon no longer fires when it runs out of bullets, and you must reload your weapon. Let's now revert all the changes made to the project and allow Codex to attempt the same task using the same prompt as Claude. If you're not using some form of source control for your project, you should definitely start. In the Claude setup video comments, I noticed that some people didn't have Git installed. Now, let's switch to the Codex CLI and use ChatGPT to run the same task of creating the reload system for us. My clipboard lost the prompt we used, so I will copy it from the Codex chat logs. I guess we can just use this handy copy icon. For Claude, I used the max plan that costs $100, while for Codex, I'm using the $20 plus plan. It seems the Codex Plus plan offers good mileage. Just as I was editing this video, news about the Codex Spark model emerged, which performs much faster. It might even surpass Claude. For now, Codex completed this task in 7 minutes and 58 seconds. Let's see how Codex managed to implement it. It also didn't catch the auto-reload logic in the initial prompt. We will copy the same prompt we used for Codex to try to fix it. However, the rest remains the same. No firing while reloading. The reload process takes time to load bullets, and the UI is updating correctly. I will copy the same prompt we used from the Claude logs to make it fix the issue. I need to remember to just use the icon to copy. Here, Codex caught that there is logic to refill ammo when the weapons run out. Let's see it in action. I ran out of ammo and can no longer shoot. Codex managed to implement it on the second try, while I had to guide Claude to the root cause for third one. Even though Codex with added time will likely still be slower. Since the rest of the logic we want works, let's sum up the results. For the total time spent with Claude versus Codex, Claude completed 3 tasks to add the reload system to the template, taking 7 minutes and 1 second in total. In contrast, Codex completed only 2 tasks but took 9 minutes and 30 seconds overall. For me, there's still no clear winner. You can form impressions, but if you factor in the time spent playtesting and creating the third prompt, the times would probably even out. With the upcoming Codex Flash, it may even outperform Claude. But this is just a fun little video. With each task, performance can vary. One thing is clear, despite Codex being slower, they both completed the task. Considering that you can get good mileage from a $20 plus plan, Codex seems like a solid option as well. Till next one.